Hello, and welcome to UST 107. This class is being offered through Madisonville Community College for the fall 2021 semester. I wish that we could immediately jump into learning how to fly different types of drones and doing all kinds of neat projects, but this class is primarily focused on getting you to pass the Part 107 exam. The FAA requires that anyone that's going to fly a drone commercially, in other words, they're going to make money off of it, has this certification, and that you're able to understand at least a portion of what it takes to become an actual pilot, like if you were going to fly a manned aircraft commercially. So everything in this class is probably going to be pretty dry, unfortunately. If you were to be 100% honest, it's really just how much of this information can you retain and then regurgitate on the test and get your piece of paper. I wish it wasn't like that. I really wish that I could make this more exciting, but what I'm going to try to do is bring this information to you from a practical standpoint. Everything is prescribed. In other words, it's all formulated, it's all written down, it's all boilerplate, technical government jargon. But what I want to do is present it to you in a way that might, at the very least, be interesting or easy to regurgitate as opposed to extremely painful if all you're concerned about is passing the test. And my name is Matthew Greer, and I will be your instructor. I have been a drone pilot for almost 4 years. I did really well on my first exam and only missed 2 questions on my second exam. But I put a lot of time and effort into studying for the second exam, and I actually did take a class to help me study and prepare for the initial exam. So that's what I'm going to try to do for everyone taking this class. I wouldn't sweat the details as far as your grades go. What I'd like to point out for your tests and your exams is that I have structured this in a way where if something is new or introduced, I don't just assume that everyone's going to get it right off. What I have done is set up your tests to be really inconsequential initially, so they're only worth 1-2 points per question tops. So if you miss it, it's not a big deal. It allows you, in my mind, to focus on, well, why did I miss it? Or it puts it in the back of your mind, well, I remember missing this one, so I'm not going to miss it again. And then as we go along in the class, we're going to continue to build on each individual block of knowledge that we go over, because there is actually a lot that the FAA requires you to know and understand. The first week, we're going to start with regulations and how they apply to drone pilots. Then we're going to go over the different types of airspaces that you need to be aware of, then how to read section charts and everything that goes along with that. We could spend a whole class almost on section charts, and then we're just going to go down the line. So I'm going to try to not put you to sleep with this material, but it is what it is, unfortunately. I'm teaching you to take and pass the test. But hopefully, if any of you actually do pass the test and get your certificate, then you can get into the good stuff. I have flown fixed-wing aircraft, I have flown quadcopters, I've done big expansive areas where I've used photogrammetry to rebuild 3D models. I did volumetric piles and inventory stockpiles for Alliance Resources. I did subsidence investigations. I've made maps and taken big photos to make mosaics. So that's just scratching the surface on what you could do commercially. You start your own drone business, you could work for other people. The applications really are just taking off in a big way. But this test is the first hurdle you're going to have to making flying a drone in part of any job. To that end, what we'll do is look at Blackboard. I have Module 0 is where your syllabus, course schedule, and any resources that you might need are going to be located. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Given that this isn't a traditional class, it's going to be, I don't have like a phone number or an office phone, I don't have office hours, but if you get in contact with me, just send me an email. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Promise. After you read the syllabus, if you have any questions, let your teacher there at the high school or myself know, and we'll get that taken care of. Aside from that, in another video, I'll go over the basics of regulations and get you started. But I just wanted to quickly show you that you don't have to have a book. I've essentially provided one for you. This is the FAA's knowledge handbook, essentially. And everything in this PDF or this booklet is fair game for the test. So, I figured that's better than having you buy a book you'll probably never use again, and it's free. The testing supplement is something that you're also going to be able to take advantage of, but I'll show you how to use that later. If you have any comments or questions or concerns, please feel free to get in contact with me, and I hope this will be educational, if nothing else. If you guys follow my lead and make sure that you take your coursework seriously as much as you can, then you shouldn't have any trouble passing this test if you really want to.